Go. Officially, good evening. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the Options Income Launchpad Trading Foundations Open Forum. My name is Scott. I'll be your host. Where's Glenn? Glenn's there. He is. He's like, Scott never starts on time. Oh. All right. As always, education illustrative purposes only. Nothing we do or say should be considered or construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security financial product. We're not brokers or advisors and therefore don't give any sort of personalized investment advice. Decisions made should always be done at your own risk. Yada, yada, yada. Let's go to the platform. Let's go to the platform and talk about it. Walmart, a stall. A lot of stalls. We take the trade when the trade comes, but are we shocked that on December 30th, our volume stayed light, just sort of pausing? Would we be shocked if there was a little bit of that going into the end of the year? No. We'd rather not see it. Tomorrow's a half day. Did anyone ever verify that? Santa was MIA. Yeah, he didn't get much. Glenn, is tomorrow a half day? That's my understanding. Is a close at 1 p.m. Hi, Sarah. Thank you for your message earlier. I was going to respond, but I was on the road. I didn't want to do it when I was going to get car sick. So, anyway, thank you for the message. I very much appreciate it. What else? Yes, 1 p.m. close tomorrow. Full closure, obviously, on Thursday, New Year's Day. And then, most people take the whole week off. So the expectation, once again, is going to be light volume. But I'm sticking with this, of course. Nothing changed. Here's SPY. You can see the volumes really trickling off. Average is 76. We're at 47, like barely 60% volume. Okay. So, but if you take the totality of December, we're slightly higher. It's not much of a Santa rally. I guess you could call this was it right here. Santa does like silver. Oh, Dubai hit 95 today. My goodness. Let's go look at the contracts. I keep forgetting which ones I want to look at. I thought it was SI, but for some reason when I entered that it didn't work. But is it? Silver. It is SI. Kind of flat, but okay. Dubai liked it today. Interesting. Oops. Nope. I still want those charts up. And I want them to be a little longer. Oh, look at that. It's so magnificent. So very, very strong. But a little bit parabolic, which is hard to sustain. Right? Keep that in mind. A little parabolic, which can be hard to sustain, obviously. So let's go back. Let's look at the SPY. What's going on? We're just in a small kind of a pause. It's almost flaggish. Stochastic has rolled over. We definitely hit some resistance and are kind of easing off of it. There's nothing concerning about this. Small candles, light volume as expected for a week when we are transitioning to New Year's. Yeah. What else? The VIX. That's where I wanted to go next. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. The VIX. Same thing. This doesn't look concerning. We've popped from 13.3 to 14.3. That's not even a pop. That's a blip. It's hardly moved at all. It could go a little higher still, and I'd still be like, ooh, if we only got up here to 15 or 16 and rolled over, pretty strong. Looks pretty good. So there's no institutional fear. We're near the highs. So I don't know. Some people are like, oh, the market. I think the market still looks pretty okay. Pretty solid. I'm going to stick with the trades I'm in. I'm still looking for new trades. I'm a 5. As of right now, nothing is shaking that by way of, long-term trend, short-term trend, VIX, volume. None of that looks really concerning as far as what we have going on right now. Tell me if you have questions or concerns that I'm not addressing. Apple still kind of flat. Like we're the sellers aren't doing anything, but we had a full buying cycle according to the stochastics. Right? Even if you consider starting here and then it had a little bit of a head fake and then it started and now that would be typically a buying cycle. That's what happened here, and it got this. But here, it got this. Same technical signal in Apple. Okay, yeah, you're kind of thinking, hey, buyers, where are you? You had a full cycle, but you really never got this thing cooking. Now, at the same time, we don't see sellers either. It's not breaking support. It's not breaking the 50. The overall trend is still holding up. I would definitely go pretty tight with a stop at this point. But it is interesting. AMKR still in. It looks like, and you can see it looks like it had a cycle. It just never did anything. But it's also still holding up. Good evening, Vladimir. Good to see you. It's still holding up. I'll probably give it the week to see if it can try to move up off of here and see if this thing's worth carrying. Loss is very small if you wanted to take it. Amazon, kind of flat. I would think about a pullback. APH, I'm thinking about kicking off the watch list. In fact, you know what? We've got to cleanse. We've got to cleanse before the new year. It's gone. And in the new year, we will do a fresh search. AXP is an interesting pause. Credit here seems to have stalled. You go look at MasterCard and Visa, and they started to surge. So a little shuffle in the credit realm, but still strength in the bank broker realm. So Bank of America looks great. Uptrend, pulling back. Citi, uptrend, strong, pulling back. So there's a couple of viable setups developing there in the financial sector so far. Caterpillar, maybe a hiccup trade. It did pull back. It held the 50. It turned. And if you took that trade, it's just sort of on a little bit of a hiccup, just like AMKR or Apple. It just hasn't done anything through here. But if it can pop, well, you could still enter. This is not one we are in, although I do feel like there's other industrial trades worth consideration. CIEN is not one of them. It is more at a resistance level. Kind of a ascending triangle forming here, which I would love to catch on the bounce, hoping that it then breaks through, and then I get this move here plus this move here. Something along those lines. Steady along with this trend. Yeah, you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. I feel it. We're all on the same page. Coherent. Steve C I can rely on. Yeah, I don't know. This one was like too big of a bounce initially. And now it's sort of doing this. I'd rather wait and see if there's a hiccup style trade out here where it comes in and then turns and it's like, okay, now I've got that one. Patience is a virtue. Credo, hiccup. A hiccup potentially. If it can hold this 100 and then start to bounce, I would think about it. Cisco, it's still kind of holding on. And, volume is light, but it is rolling over. I don't know. This is a judgment call. I still think there's some viability to it. Maybe pare it down a little bit. Maybe you're just done. You say this one just didn't pan out. Delta setting up. Consumer discretionary. New high. A little bit of a consolidation in front of us here. You've got something there. Let's see. What else? Here's today's Dow, kind of sideways. Fox, I would love to trade Fox on the next pullback. Strong one, looking quite good. A lot of good stuff going on in there. Okay. First Solar, I think, still is quite viable, actually. Where do we put this? Is this industrials? Fundamentals. Information technology doesn't really seem right, in my opinion. But I don't know. What are the thoughts? Let me know. Okay, what else? GE. Oops. Didn't want that. GE, looking good. Another industrial. Oh, looks like it's all day tomorrow, Glenn said. Okay, I'm totally wrong. Again, son of a gun. Definitely closed on Thursday, but it does look like a full day. Prior to that. So, okay. Okay, what's next? Gold, for those who are kind of watching that one, possibly pausing here, maybe going to bounce again. General Motors. Okay, we've been waiting for something like that, a pullback like that. Okay. Google. Still kind of hanging out there. You can see Google moved and it's just kind of sideways. I still think there's something there too, potentially. Goldman Sachs still looks good, like Bank of America and Citi. Okay, let's see. Howmet looks good. I mean, that looks real strong. Nice strong move up, pulling back. I think there's some real potential coming back from that. Okay. IBM. I'm going to say no to IBM. Intel still looks fine. It's starting to try. It was really moving at one point. It's got some attempt in it. Let's see what it can do. All right. Let's see what it can do. Okay. Next is the IWM. Thank you, Glenn, for looking that up, setting me straight. Okay. JCI. Another one in the realm of industrials, right? Industrials. That's another sector that we find, I think, favorable right now. Lumentum pausing. Maybe one of the better entries coming up. Possibly there was one here, made a move. There's another one setting up. Possibly keep an eye on it. Okay. Lam Research. Let's see. Hey, good to see you, Stephen D. Sorry, Doug, I got caught on a different. I was looking at an individual chat. Which one are you wondering will be impacted? Let me know. First Solar. Ooh, that's a good question. It is an important component. So silver going up certainly could have a negative impact on it, right? Okay. Macy's still viable, real close potentially to a setup in here, in my opinion. That's one we're keeping an eye on. Okay. MasterCard. Like I said, that one's moving. That one's got some move, some momentum to it. More so than American Express. Definitely more so than American Express. Okay. Meta. Meta, it was up there pretty well for a minute, and then it kind of pulled back a little bit. Didn't hold on to all of it, but it had a good day. A little bit extra volume today, so there's certainly something there. Okay, in Meta, good. Thoughts? Are you holding on to it? Yeah, I would say it's got a little bit of readiness to it. Morgan Stanley, close. This was one I was in and then got out. Now I'm waiting to see, is there going to be another one coming? Microsoft, there's nothing there for me. Just underwater. Now, if we ever see the buyers come in a little stronger, okay, let's see if we get that. But in the meantime, there's really not much we can do with it. Micron, overextended. It's been overextended for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. That doesn't mean we're like, well, you know what? Now it's not. Well, of course it still is. Right? There's nothing we can do but wait for an actual consolidation to come. Netflix over well down, just sitting in the dregs right now. Not much to do with that. Nvidia is back in business for me. Tell me what you guys think. This was coming down and it busted up out of there. Boom, had a chunk of volume in there. And now it's doing this. Right? And now it's doing this. Stochastics has turned. Yeah, I would say we've got a flag window on right now. If it could break out. Otherwise, let's see if it comes in, gives us a transition somewhere in those moving averages. Okay. Okay, let's see. Palantir. Ooh. Is it buying other shares to pump up theirs? You're talking about Nvidia? I mean, I think Nvidia is pretty steady at this point. It went into this consolidation where some of that news and speculation was coming out. But at this point, we've broken out of it. So for me, price is telling the story. Palantir. Okay. Oh, Glenn is saying goodnight. He was on a different channel. Glenn, you were directly to me, but I'm passing it on for you. He'll see you guys on. Friday. All right. Thank you, Glenn. Have a great night. QQQ is just like, again, you guys, we're just seeing these pauses. We talked about day trading today, and we talked about how there's really not a lot of expectation of movement going on. And as such, it's just these teeny little candles, these small range days. There's just not a lot of movement in there. And there's no expectation that there will be anytime before getting back to next week. Let me know if you have any thoughts or coming. Now, maybe silver, we're seeing some things there for sure. Yeah. Okay. That's right. You won't see Glenn again until 2026. Very cool. The Real a bit overextended right now. Nothing there, but if it were to make a consolidation, I would think about it again. Yeah. Rocket Lab is maybe starting to find support in here. We'll give it a little bit to make sure. There's some choppiness in here, but yeah, I'm open to it. I'm open to it. Roku, kind of flat, kind of sideways. Little bit of a consolidation pattern going on there. Nothing for us. Ross Stores. So this is another one. We're going to do some training on risk reward maybe the next few days. Yeah. Remind me, John. What was our exact thought? Maybe we can even touch on it today here in just a second. Just like how we're setting that up from stop and target, or what's your thought? Yeah, let me know. I'll just keep going for now. We'll figure it out. Okay. Calculating reward. Yeah, here's RTX. Let's go talk about. We'll use Walmart when we get to it as an example, and how the reward risk has changed even on that one. Here's silver. Silver jumped back up, kind of flat in the after hours, but there's what it looks like now. SNDK, a little bit of a pullback there. I think that this may be trying to start trending again. So if this thing pulls back in this area, I think, hey, there's a nice potential trade for it to get back up to that 285 mark. So I'm watching SNDK. We know where it's been. SPY. Yeah, SPY, we talked about it, but even that one does look pretty good. Okay. STX. Same kind of a thing here. We had this new high. We've been in this consolidation. Yeah, I think this could look pretty good popping out of this. Absolutely. Yeah, I think it could look real strong. Okay. Now, what would I be looking for here? Well, you can see we've had moves like this. I might take this whole thing and see if I could get that, or I might break it up into this. What is my reward? Where will it put me if I ask for one versus the other? Okay, let's keep going here. Teradyne, kind of sitting flat. TJX, maybe. Tesla setting up. If you like it, that's definitely looking like there could be an opportunity here. Now, what would I be thinking to myself? I'll be thinking this is what we got last time, which is 435 to, we'll call it 492. To 492, that is, what would that be? 65, 55, 57. So from 53 here, 54, that puts us at around 510, something up here in this new high area. So that's going to help me to get my reward, right? Is what do I think this can do? Well, I'm going to use what it's done before. It did it there, it did it there, it did it there. So I think that's a strong capability for us, right? Real strong. Yeah, this may be one maybe I will do one on this. We'll see. Maybe I will. Okay, let's see. TSM. So let me know if that helps as far as like, hey, where do I think this can go? I'm going to look at previous moves. I'm going to measure those moves. And I'm going to essentially establish from them what I think that the capability is in order to get like, hey, how high can this make its move while in this context that we have it. We'll do Walmart here in a second as well. Here's again the VIX, very, very low. Here is WBD sideways. Here's WDC, maybe something setting up. GEOS, I'll take a quick look and then we'll hit Walmart and see what it does for us. GEOS. Okay, let's see. What do we got here? Geospace Technologies. Yeah, I mean, it had a pretty nasty pre-earnings followed by earnings drop. But since then, it's back in business, right? Since then, it is starting to show signs of life. It's a little bit kind of at the end of a cycle, it feels like right here. You can kind of see that that's what's showing up. It feels like it's at the end of a cycle, more so than the beginning of a cycle. Bought at 11, but that's a great pickup then, for sure. Yeah, looks good. Okay, let's see. Where are we at? Walmart. If I could get my things to drop. WMT. Now, this one I'm actually, so if you take this back and I move this around, you can see right here from this low to this high. From here, it actually got even more. It got this. But we got it there. We got it here. We got it in here. So I'm kind of saying, hey, when this thing catches some momentum, I have a pretty good potential to ride it, to try to create some sort of an opportunity for me. Yeah. Let's see. So that then, if I use that, let me get rid of one of these, is where this target up here of around 118, 119. Let's see what my exact target was. 119. Technically, I think it was only, 119.03. So in that range right there. Okay, let's see here. Now, the stop, I actually think I went all the way back below this, but barely. Uh, 110.65. The low here is 110.55. So I'm right around that low. But if you look at the Heiken Ashi, I went below this body and this low. So I didn't go all the way down in here, but I did go in here, and then that creates my risk. Risk there, reward is there. And so if you look at then what that does, I have the entry where it was, anywhere around that area. There's the stop. There's the target. There's some potential take profit back at the old highs. And that gives me about a 3.65 to 1. Yeah. About a 3.65 to 1 in it. All right. So reward based on what? Prior moves, prior levels of support or resistance, angle of trend. There's a number of ways that we can sort of say, hey, where does this look like it could get? What's the term that I'm going to always want to try to check? Is it reasonable? It's not reasonable for me to expect that level. If I'm like, oh man, this is the big, if I was saying to you guys, I think it's going to go, this was 99 to 117. If I said, this is the move I'm looking for. Well, you can see it's never done that, but that one time, and you're really taking the very, very low and the very, very high. You're like, that doesn't look like what it could do. But if I'm saying this and this and this and, this and this, then you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's reasonable. That's what I'm looking for. Don't ask for something it's never done. Don't ask for something that's only done once. Make sure what you're asking for, it's done at least a couple of times. If I said my stop is right here, you'd be like, what? You're going to just get picked off. What do you mean? So that's why my stop's down there. It's a much lower place to give it the room. Is it reasonable, or is it just going to get picked off? There's no magic answers, obviously, right? We're just trying to build a trade, see if we can't be ambitious without being, unrealistic. And that then, why is there a max reward? Well, it's a swing trade, right? We have time constraints, and it's a constrained by its past pattern of behavior. So I'm only asking for what is it likely to give me for one move. Now, if you're trending, if you're like, hey, I'm going to buy this for the trend and I don't have a time limit, well, then maybe there's not a max. But the maxed reward is sort of us being realistic to say, what's my time frame? What can I honestly expect it to do in that time frame? One swing, low to high. That's what I'm looking for. Oh, good. All right. Well, and that takes us to time. So works out perfectly. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow for tomorrow's full market day. Whoever said half day, I don't know what they were thinking, but it's a full day. If I don't see you tomorrow, Happy New Year, and I'll see you on Friday afternoon to wrap the week up. But hopefully you come tomorrow for the New Year's Eve extravaganza starting at 9:15 a.m. Eastern Time. It's good to see everybody. Have a great night. Take care, as always. Happy trading.